Good day everyone, my name is Kenjay Ular. I am from IT 1R12. For today's video, we will be talking about C programming. For starters, what is C? C is a general-purpose programming language created by Dennis Ritchie at Bell Laboratories in 1972. It is a very popular language despite being old. However, balag karaan na siya, daghan gyapon nagagamit niya ng mga tao. It's because dali siya gamiton and it has advantage to the people. Because if you learn how to use C language, you will have no problem learning with other programming language like JavaScript, Python, and C++. Why learn C? Just like I said, if you know C language, you will have no problem learning with other popular language like JavaScript, Python, C++, and etc. as long as the syntax is similar. The history of C. The C language was evolved from B by the Dennis Ritchie at Bell Laboratories and was originally implemented in 1972. C initially became widely known as the development language of the Unix operating system. C evolved from two earlier languages, BCPL-26 and B-27. BCPL was developed in 1967 by Martin Richards as a language for writing operating system and compiler. By the late 1970s, C had evolved into what's now referred to as traditional C. The publication in 1978 of Kernighan and Ritchie book, The C Programming Language, drew wide attention to the languages. This became one of the most successful computer science book of all time. This is a C simple program, and this is comments. Now, what is comments? Comments begin with two hashtags. You insert comments to documents, program, and improve readability. Comments do not cause the computer to perform actions when you execute programs. They are simply ignored kasagara. Wala, dili, kasagara lagi siya gamiton. And now, this is hashtag include preprocessor directive. This tells the preprocessor to include the contents of the standard input or output header. And now, this is black lines and white space. We use black lines, space, characters, and tab characters to make the program easier to read. Together, these are known as white space and generally ignored by the compiler. And now, this is the main function. The main function is a part of every C program. This parenthesis after main indicates that main is a program building block called function. And now, this is an output statement. An output statement is string, sometimes called character string, a message, or a literal including the call to the printf function to perform its task. The printf argument within the parentheses and the semicolon called statement. And now, this is an escape statement. /n means a new line. Ug mag-add kag another statement, magamit ra kag slash og n. And some common escape sequences are listed below. And now, we will be talking about the main features of C. There are four main features of C. Number 1, general purpose and portable. Number 2, low-level memory access. Number 3, fast speed. Number 4, unclean syntax. And now, this is a structure of C program. And there are components of C program. And this one will be called header. It's a file with extensions that each which contain C functions, declarations, and macro definition to be shared between several files. And now, this is the main method declaration. Main method declaration is the entry point of a C program that the execution typically begins with the first line of the main. And the last one is called body of main method. This line 3 to 6. This refers to a statement that is part of the functions. A functions of curly brackets define the body of a functions. Kining tulo ka line mo ni siya gitawag of body of main. And now we will be talking about algorithm. What is algorithm? Algorithm is a procedure for solving a problem in terms of the action to execute, the order in which this action should execute. Algorithm only uses simple words and are a sequence of steps of a solution to a problem. Aside from algorithm, we have also pseudocode. What is pseudocode? Pseudocode is a step-by-step description of an algorithm in code-like structure using plain English text. These are fake codes, as the word pseudo means fake. Now, this is the example of algorithm and pseudocode. As you can see na ang isa sa ilang differences kay ang algorithm na asya step by step which is same ra sa pseudocode na step by step. Pero ang pseudocode mangod kay direct na siya. Wala na siya step by step unlike sa algorithm kay na step 1, step 2 and so far as so on. Tas ang pseudocode mangod kay shortcut rapod siya. Flowchart. What is flowchart? Flowchart is a pictorial representation of the flow of an algorithm. It is a way of visually representing data representation of the algorithm for better understanding of the code. And here is the symbol of flowchart. Ang flowchart kay mas gi-visualize niya ang code na gihatag and mas more on detailed, specific with symbols for various actions and decisions. Here is the different symbol of flowchart. Flowchart has different type of symbol and it indicate on every symbol name. And in this way, the code will be readable to the people. Like anang start or stop, same ra silang symbol, tas naa sila purpose. Use at the beginning at end of the algorithm to show start and end of the program. And the process has also symbols and it indicate process like mathematical expressions. And input or output na ana sila symbol, same ra na silang symbol and so far and so on. Every symbol has purpose and has name. And now, we are done talking about the main features of C. And now, we will be talking about the identifiers, variables, and operators. What is identifiers? Identifier refers to name given to entities such as variables, functions, and structures, etc. Identifiers must be unique. They are created to give a unique name to an entity to identify it during the execution of the program. For example, this one. It because identifier ni siya kay nag-identify ni siya sa value sa imong program. What are variables? Variables are containers for storing data values like numbers and characters. In C, there are different types of variables. For example, int stores data without decimals such as 123 or -123. Float. Float stores floating point numbers with decimals such as 19.99 or other with decimals numbers. Char stores single characters such as A or B. Char values are surrounded by single quotes. And now, the difference between variables and identifier. The identifier is only used to identify an entity uniquely in a program at the time of execution, whereas a variable is a name given to a memory location that it used to hold a value. For example, kanang naa sa taas, mao na siya ang identifier. It's because nag-identify na siya variables. And kanang naa sa ubos, mao na siya ang variables, kanang 15. It's because the int mynum is an identifier that identify the number 15 na variables. Now, let's go to the operators. What are operators? Operators can be defined as the symbols that help us to perform specific mathematical, relational, bitwise, conditional, or logical computations on operands. There are 6 types of built-in operators in C. Number 1, arithmetic operators. Number 2, relational operators. Number 3, logical operators. Number 4, bitwise operators. Number 5, assignment operators. And the last one is other operators. Arithmetic operators. These operators are used to perform arithmetic or mathematical operations on operands. There are two types of these arithmetic operators. Number one, unary operators, operators that work with a single operand. And then number two, binary operators, operators that work with a two operands. Number two, relational operators. They are used for the comparison of the values of two operands, checking if one operand is equal to other operand or not, whether an operand is greater than the other operand or not, etc. For example, logical operators. Logical operators are used to combining two or more conditions or constraints or to complement the evaluation of the original condition in consideration. The result of the operation of a logical operator is a Boolean value either true or false. There are three types of logical operators. For example, logical AND. Logical AND represented as the two AND operator in C returns true when both the conditions under consideration are satisfied. Otherwise, it returns false. Therefore, a 2 and B returns true when both A and B are true. Logical OR, represented as the two-line operator in C, returns true when both or at least one of the conditions under consideration is satisfied. Otherwise, it returns false. And the last one will be logical NOT, or represented as explanation point. Bitwise operators. These operators are used to perform bit-level operations on the operands. There are three parts of bitwise operators. Bitwise AND operator compares each bit of the first operand to the corresponding bit of the second operand. If both bits are 1, the corresponding result bit is set to 1. Otherwise, the corresponding result bit is set to 0. In short, pag same og bit 1, ang result na 1 na gyud wala na, the rest kay ma-0 na dayon, balag 0 1 1 0 0 0 0 gyud ang result na. The bitwise OR operator, the second, compares the value of each operand and yields a value whose bit pattern shows which bits in either of the operands has the value 1. If both of the bits are 0, the result of the bit is 0. Otherwise, the result is 1. If same sila bit 0, ang result na 0 agad, the rest 1 na. Bala pag 011011, ang result gina na 1. If same og 00, the result is 0. The last one is bitwise SOR operator. SOR is a bitwise operator and stands for exclusive OR. It performs logical operations. If inputs bits are the same, then the output will be false, else true. Assignment operator. These assignment operators are convenient for updating variables based on their current values, and they help reduce code redundancy. They are often used in loops, calculation, and various programming tasks to make code more concise and efficient. Here are some common assignment operators in C, along with explanation and examples. Number 1. The equal sign assignment operator. Number 2. The addition assignment operator. Number 3. The subtraction assignment operator. Number 4. The multiplication assignment operator. Number 5. The division assignment operator. And the last one is modulus assignment operator. Operator precedence. The operator precedence is a set of rules that determines the order in which operators are evaluated in an expression. It specifies which operator should be evaluated first and which should be evaluated later when an expression contains multiple operators. Understanding operator precedence is crucial for writing. For example, naay rules ang operator. And now, we are done talking about the identifiers, variables, and operators. Now, let's move on to the control structures. Normally, statements in a program execute one after the other in the order in which you write them. This is called sequential execution. As you will soon see, various C statements enable you to specify that the next statement to execute may be other than the next one in sequence. This is called transfer of control. The history of control structures. During the 1960s, it became clear that the indiscriminate use of transfer of control was the root of a great deal of difficulty experienced by software development groups. The finger of blame was pointed at the go-to statement that allows you to specify a transfer of control to one of many possible destinations in a program. The notions of so-called structured programming became almost synonymous with go-to elimination. Before structured programming concepts were widely adopted, programming languages, including C, often relied on the goto statement as a means of controlling program flow. The goto statement allows you to transfer control to a labeled location within your program, essentially allowing for unconditional jumps in the code. However, the use of goto can make code more difficult to understand and maintain, and it can lead to a spaghetti code which is hard to follow. In this example, the program uses a goto statement to create a loop. It jumps back to the loop start label as long as the condition is 5 is greater than I is true. And that's the last topic of our C programming language. That's all. Thank you.